Hi everybody. I hope you had a chance to watch the starter video right now and you have an idea about right angles being the ones that perfectly match with the corners of tables, chairs, fridges, picture frames. So they're the perfect L shape. And you know that obtuse is the really wide one that's larger than the right angle, and acute is the smaller one, smaller than a right angle. So we're going to look at it in a bit more depth here today. So let's go to, well, this is our activity that we're going to be looking at. So you are going to have to label the individual degrees in increments of 10 on a circle that you draw yourself. And we'll take a look at it in another place. So let's look at it one more time. Okay, so you can see here that the 0 is at the start, at the top, where the 12 o'clock on a clock would be. And also you can see in red there's 360 degrees, which you already know because you've been doing turns and you know that when you get back to your starting point, you have completed 360 degrees. You also know that when you do a quarter turn, you get to 90 degrees. But I want you to think about in between 0 and 90, there are all the other degrees. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, all the way up to 90. But here, you can see it in increments of 10. So you'll count it by 10. So between 0 and 90, you have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and then you get to 90. Between 90 and 180, well, you start at 90 and you go 90, 100, 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, and you're at 180. And then the quarter turn that goes between the 6 o'clock and the 9 o'clock on a clock is the same as between 180 and 270 degrees. So if you counted that out, you would start at 180, 190, 200, 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, and then finally you're at 270. And then if you look between the 9 o'clock and back up to the 12 o'clock, that's the same as between 270 degrees and 360 degrees. So if you counted it out, 270, 280, 290, 300, 310, 320, 330, 340, 350, and finally back to 360 degrees. So that's one thing that you need to be thinking about today, because in activity 1, you need to draw your own circle. I suggest you label the quarter turns, or the 90, 200, 180, 270, and 360 degrees are first, just the way on a clock you label where the 12 is and where the 6 is, where the 3 is and where the 9 is. You're doing the same kind of idea as sort of labeling the corners of the circle first. Then you go back and you fill in all the degrees between in those quarter turns. Okay, let's take another look at our angles, right, acute, and obtuse. And this time we're going to line it up right here, line up where the vertex would be, and we're going to think if we extended that line straight across, it would touch 90. And if we extended that line straight up to the 0, it would touch. So we know that's a perfect 90-degree angle, making the L shape. Let's now think about it for our acute angle, which is less than 90 degrees. So here we go again. We're going to line it up right with the vertex. And if we extended the line over, we can see that it's going to match up with the 90. And if we extended this line, we can see that it doesn't go up to the 0, so it's less than. So we know for sure that that is an acute angle. So let's check our obtuse angle. If we move it over here and line up the vertex in the corner again, and let's see what happens. So if we extend it straight across, we're good, we're on the 90, and if we extend this one straight across, we can see that it's larger than a 90-degree angle. So that's definitely an obtuse angle. And we now want to do our activities 3 and 4. where we check different angles to see if they are exactly 90 degrees, or if they are less than 90 degrees, or if they are greater than 90 degrees but still less than 180 degrees. So let's do that now. Okay, let's look at activities 3 and 4 now. So in activity 3, you need to draw the angles in each of the 3 choices in your book if you're not going to be printing. So go ahead and draw it just how it looks there, and then you can write underneath, because it's good practice, right angle, acute angle, and obtuse angle. So now let's think about this. This one that we see here, does it look like an L shape? Does it look like 90 degrees? Or does it look smaller than that? And if you're thinking it looks smaller than the L shape, then I know you're going to choose acute angle. And how about number 2? Does it look exactly like an L shape? If it does, which one would you choose? I'm sure you guessed a right angle. So I'll let you figure out number 3 and number 4. Are they right angles, acute angles, or obtuse angles? And then let's move on to activity 4, where again you have to draw some angles in your book, but this time you only write one of the 3 choices beside each angle. So the first 3 are done. You can see that this part here is leaning back. It's larger than a regular L. So it's obtuse because it's more than 90 degrees. This one here, clearly it's leaning forward. It's smaller than the regular L, so it's less than 90 degrees. We're going to call that one acute. And lastly, of course, we recognize the L, which is our right angle, exactly 90 degrees. So you have 6 of them there. Write it anywhere beside the angle, below, beside, wherever you have space, and label them obtuse, acute, and right angle. And that's it for today. So enjoy your work and make sure to send it in.